I just want to make this short video to show you how to launch and execute a Jupyter Notebook in case you didn't capture what I presented in today's lecture. Unfortunately, we won't be able to record our lecture session because I think I have limited access to the WebEx GSU account. So hopefully I can get that solved before next lecture. Okay, so let's get started. So I mentioned that there are multiple ways to start the Jupyter Notebook. So if you are not feeling comfortable of using terminal interface like I'm showing right now, on both Mac and Windows, as long as you have an Anaconda package installed, you should have a software called Anaconda Navigator. So if you click it, so the procedures are basically the same, no matter whether you're on Mac or Windows. You click it and load, and it's loading, and then once it's ready, you should have an interface like this where you see an icon for Jupyter Notebook, and if you click launch, and that will pop you up a browser tab showing you the Jupyter Notebook interface, and from there you can navigate to any directories where you wanted to land your notebook. For example, here, and you simply do click new Python 3, and then an empty notebook should be opening. And you can rename the notebook. For example, you can name it as a testing notebook. Okay, so from here, you can type in your code here. For example, you can do print hello world, and we can also repeat the function we defined at the end of the lecture. For example, define a function taking two numbers and output the summation here, return. This is the step where you return the output. So let's see, let me add a notation. For example, this is define a function. I do recommend you guys, when you write Python code, to make clear command or annotations so that everybody else, whenever they see your code, they understand what's going on, or for you guys, for yourself, after a while, you can still understand what you did a while back. For example, let's call this function. So remember that when you have some code written, in order to execute the code in the in this box, we call it like Jupyter Notebook cell, you need to press Shift and Enter all together, and that will help you execute the code and give you the output. It's the same operation on both Windows and Mac. And so, as I mentioned, that you can either share this newly created IPyMB file with your peers if you want to share code. You can also download, export this notebook file as a HTML. For example, on the lecture I presented you how to output PDF, but you can also output HTML. So then automatically there should be a HTML file downloaded. So for example, I think this should be the one I created. So if you double click, so this is the HTML exported. If you double click, that should automatically open on a browser where you can see both your code and your output. But as you can see, it's like a static HTML. You cannot do any changes like you have what you have in the notebook interface. But for demonstrations or code sharing, I think this should be good enough. So like I said, you just need to share this HTML file with your peers. So we mentioned starting notebook from Anaconda Navigator. So if you feel comfortable with the terminal, You can also start from terminal, just like, for example, just type in Jupyter space notebook and hit enter. This is on Mac OS. See, there's a notebook session open. On Windows, you don't have this terminal, but you do have a command prompt, or I think like PowerShell also works. Like it's like the terminal interface in Windows. So just type in Jupyter space notebook and hit enter. You should be able to run the notebook from there. And hopefully this will be helpful for you guys. And if you have any questions, or concerns, feel free to email me or book office hours to me. I do have a 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. office hours available every Tuesday afternoon before our class. So feel free to book the office hours if you need. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you.